Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to MotorMaster Monday, and folks, it is the final MotorMaster Monday of the year. This is the championship race here at Phoenix International Raceway, ISM Raceway, whatever you would like to call it. It's ISM Raceway still in NASCAR Heat 4, and they're working stage 1, 100 laps. The distance for these drivers, keep your eye on your championship contenders, Noko in the 23, Harold Burden in the 39, Dakota Bruv in the 1, and of course Chris Pendle in the 42. Noko in the 23 leads with Flash 9 in the 10, Dakota Bruv in the 1 car is in 3rd. Josh Colm Diaz in the 7 machine runs in 4th, and that's Chris Pendle rounding out the top 5. I am Timac 11 2018 NOSSCAR Platinum Cup Series champion. Strap yourselves in for the final time here in 2020. It is the Victory Lane 200 at Phoenix Raceway. And we're going to find out who exactly is going to be parking their car in Victory Lane here after another 92 laps. They're working stage 1 and they're hungry, folks. Keep your eye on all these championship contenders. Of course, Chris Pendle runs in the 5th position. 7 wins this season. Comes into tonight. 37 playoff points to his total throughout the season. He's had a brilliant season and a breakout season in his rookie campaign. Keep your eye, of course, as well on Dakota Bruv, the defending NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series champion, coming up huge earlier tonight, winning at Martinsville and clinching his spot, not winning rather, but finishing in 2nd and clinching his spot in the playoffs by 2 points over Wicked Gatekeeper in the 0. A little bit further back, Harold Burden in the 39 started in 7th in this race. He's right now in the 10th position, and he's more known for his long run speed than his short run. Might just be taking it easy here in stage 1. Of course, he won the very first round of 8 playoff race to capture his final 4 spot. That was coming back, of course, at Kansas Speedway last Monday. Speaking of Victory Lane, Chris Pendle was able to find it as well in the 2nd round of 8 playoff race, and that's how he was able to be here as well, and that was at Texas Motor Speedway. He's got a good car. He's running inside the top 5. Moments ago, he was able to get around Flash 9 at the 10, and that puts him up into the 4th position in that 42. You can see exactly what happened to Flash 9. He parked it in Victory Lane earlier tonight at Martinsville Speedway. 2nd career NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series win, and he joined the party late, folks. He's not a part of the playoffs, running part-time. And he's found Victory Lane twice in his part-time campaign. Good showing for him so far, not only here in the MotorMaster Series, but in the 2020 NOSSCAR Platinum Cup Series as well. 3 races deep in that series. We're all chasing this man and perhaps the favorite to win the 2020 NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series Championship. Noko has broken many records here this season, including having 10 wins in a single season, along with 75 playoff points. He's been on a roll. This number 23, Chevy Camaro, appears to be dialed in here at Phoenix, but he's got a challenger on his way to the front, and it's Dakota Bruv in the 1. Keeping our eye on the battle for the lead. Battle for 3rd is also heating up. That's Josh Colm Diaz in the 7. Made it to the round of 8. Missed out on the round of 4 by only a handful of points. As did Wicked Gatekeeper in the 0, only missing it by 2. Still picking up a top 5 finish in the race earlier tonight at Martinsville, the round of 4 cutoff race. But it wasn't quite enough. Checking in deeper in the field. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. There are battles all over this racetrack. Proximity back for some action here in the number 29. Chevy Camaro always brings a nice custom car to these races. He's having a good battle there with Dustin McClintock in the 90. Dustin, of course, has raced with NOSSCAR for a very long time. Started with us back on NASCAR 15 Victory Edition on the PlayStation 3 console, and now Proximity has pulled his car down pit road. Cameron Norton back for some fun, driving the number 8 Chevy Camaro. He's got wins here in this series. He's got wins in the NOSSCAR Platinum Cup Series as well. Looking to show us what he can do. Right there with one of the round of 4 contenders. Just in front of him is Harold Burden in that number 39 Chevy Camaro. One we will keep our eye on all race long. Brett Baker recently won the first 3 races of the season in the 2020 NOSSCAR Thunder Cup Series over on NASCAR 15. Explosive way to start the year over there, and looking to continue his winning ways here in the MotorMaster Series. Battle for the lead has calmed down just a little bit. Noko has been able to put a few car lengths now on Dakota Brev, the defending champion, driving the number 1, white and red and yellow Chevy Camaro. He's being hounded there by his teammate, and that's Josh Colin-Diaz in the 7th. Dakota goes a little bit high, a little bit closer to the wall, probably than he wanted to. Might have overdrove the corner a bit. Chris Kendall thought about 3 wide for a moment and then thought better of it. This is going into turn 3 now, and coming around this bend is the start-finish line. Josh Colin-Diaz looks to the inside. Flash 9 in the 10 car just in front of them. Battle for positions all over the racetrack. Noko leads. Not a challenger in sight. He's got a big gap now over the drivers running second, third on back. Flash 9 in the 10. Dakota Brev in the 1. Chris Kendall in the 42. Josh Colin-Diaz in the 7. All running in the top 5. There's a good look at Bradley Gilliland driving the number 61 Toyota Camry, Toyota Supra rather. Not a mark on that car so far, and he's on the lead lap just inside the top 10. 17 drivers started the Victory Lane 200 here at ISM Raceway, and that is the conclusion to stage 1, and it was a little bit of a rough one there as well. Wow. The stages never take long here in the NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series presented by Brev Motorsports, and when it was all said and done, Noko is your stage 1 winner. He's done that a lot this season. '22nd career stage win here in the NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series, all of which came here in the 2020 season. Dakota Brev will finish 4th, I believe, here in that stage. In fact, actually, I don't believe so. Dakota Brev's going to start a little bit deeper in the field, and it was Harold Burden in the 39 that's going to restart on the front row with the lead, along with Noko in the 23. Pit stops were made, and the green flag is in the air. Getting a report there was a bit of an issue with Harold getting his pit stop done under caution, and that might have just cost him a shot at the championship. He's on pit road now. Good action here in stage 2, but that is a heartbreaker for the 39 team. And that might have just eliminated Harold from the equation. That might have just handed better chances over to Chris Kendall in the 42, Noko in the 23 still leading the way, and Dakota Brev trying to make his way back up through the field. There is the defending champ, driving the one. Crossing the start-finish line now has a lot of work to do, and he knows it, but thankfully for him, it's a 100-lap race, and we're only in stage 2. He's got a lot of time left. He can still get to the front and challenge Noko for the lead. In fact, speaking of challenging Noko for the lead, Flash 9 in the 10 is there. Non-round of 4 contender. Dunson in the 89, driving the Morgan Shepherd machine, driving all the way up into the 3rd position here in stage 2, but he's got Chris Pendle in the 42 just underneath him. This all happening just behind the battle for the race lead. Pendle drove deep there into 1 and 2. Came within a couple of feet away from the back bumper of the 10, and we might even lose the 3rd position back to Dunson in the 89. They're nearly side by side for the lead up front. Pendle is there in the 42. Keep your eye on the leader in the 23. And the driver running in 3rd, Chris Pendle in the 42. He's been the one that's been able to hold a candle a little bit to Noko all season long. He's got a shot to run down Noko. Final 4 contenders running in 1st, 3rd, 8th, and 13th, folks. Excuse me, 14th rather. Harold Burden didn't pit under the caution. It was some sort of malfunction with the game or with his controller. A heartbreaking way for his round of 4 championship race to go. Back on track now. 2 laps down to your race leader Noko, and just trying to dig and see what he can get. But the battle is on, folks. The battle for the championship is on, and we're only in stage 2. Noko has led almost every lap since the drop of the green flag. In fact, I believe he has. Chris Pendle is looking to change it. Pendle moves into the 2nd position now in front of Flash 9. Flash 9 in the 10, of course, not a round of 4 contender. Running in 3rd. Dunson in the 89 made it all the way to the round of 8. He's running in 4th, was unable to advance to the final 4. Still having a great run here so far at ISM. And Josh Cole-Diaz in the 7 runs in 5th. And folks, they've been running in the top 5 for basically since the drop of the green flag of this one. There is Harold Burden, one of the round of 4 contenders. Remember, he's the one I mentioned about having the issue getting onto pit road under caution. Back onto the racetrack, 2 laps down. He's got the fresher tires, but he's not gaining as much ground as he needs to in order to get one of those laps back before the end of stage 2. It's going to be interesting to see if he can somehow pull something off and be in contention here for the win or for the championship at the end of this one. Ayrton Frederick in the 93 having a good battle there with Quarter Panel in the 18. Quarter Panel going all the way to the inside through the dog leg. I think he actually lost control and might have found the inside wall. That gives the 6th position over to Ayrton Frederick in the 93. And the 8 car right behind him there up a position as well. Pretty good run so far for the driver of the 8, that being Cameron Norton. Since the drop of the green flag has been inside the top 10. All sides of that car looking good. No dents and no torn fenders, and it's still early stage 2 of the championship race. Battle for the lead is on, and 2 championship contenders going for it. Chris Pendle up top. Noko on the inside drifts up in front of Chris. and tries to hold the position, and this is while Flash 9 in the 10 is got a front row seat watching all of this go on. These three have been the class of the field since the drop of the green. Dakota Bruv showed good speed early, but had to start deep in the field here in stage 2. And it's really left these guys to go at it for the lead. And Chris goes all the way down below the yellow line. And this is going into turns 1 and 2. Used to be 3 and 4. Can't quite make it stick without drifting up into the side of Noko. He lifts to stop that from happening. He gives the lead back to the driver of the 23. We're in the final laps of stage 2, and the battle continues here. Noko in the 23, Chris Pendle in the 42. They're coming around to see the white flag this time by. Flash 9 in the 10 is right there. Keep in mind for the round of 4 contenders, stage points is out the window. Top 5 in the stages get points. But the round of 4 drivers do not, folks. It's all about the driver in the round of 4 who gets the best finish here today at ISM Raceway, and they will be crowned your champion. Noko leads, and we're on the final lap, going through 1 and 2 for the final time in stage 2. The 29 had a big problem there, and Flash 9 in the 10, Chris Pendle in the 42 got into him, and they're going to have damage to repair under pit stops. Noko is going to win stage 2. Back-to-back stage wins here in the championship race, and Proximity in the 29 really lost control there, right in front of a couple of key drivers at a key moment. And now a lot of them are going to need to repair their cars. Flash 9, Chris Pendle, both involved and got heavy damage. And it kind of looks like Dakota Bruv in the 1's hood is a little bit bent in and pushed in as well. He might need to take a second or two extra on pit road. Well, we knew it would be wild, folks. And this is the last opportunity of the season for these drivers to make a pit stop under caution. End of stage 2. The final stage of the 2020 NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series season is coming up right now. Thank you to all the viewers on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and Twitter for tuning in all season long. And it's come down to this. Noko in the 23, Dakota Bruv in the 1, Chris Pendle in the 42. 3 of the 4 are still on the lead lap. Green flag is in the air. They're rocking and rolling in Phoenix. Noko with a great start to the final stage. Josh Colm-Diaz, his closest competitor, Cameron Norton in the 8. Running in 3rd, but for how long? Dakota Bruv in the 1 makes a huge move to the bottom, and that's for 3rd. If Dakota's got a shot, he's got to go now. He's going to challenge for this championship. He needs to get to the back bumper of the 23 before he has a chance to drive away. Chris Pendle in the 42 runs in 8th. Just behind Flash 9 in the 10, Dunson in the 89, and Ayrton Frederick in the 93. And the battle for the lead is on between the teammates, Josh Colm-Diaz in the 7, Noko in the 23. Josh, of course, in that 7 car, made it all the way to the round of 8, came close to making it into the round of 4. In fact, he currently sits 6th in the point standings coming into this one, and he would love to add a second win to his total this season. He's had a great season. He'd love to finish strong. He's to the inside of his teammate Noko. It's a battle for the lead. Dakota Bruv in the 1 is up into 3rd. Noko comes back hard on the bottom, takes the lead back. Now Josh going to use the dog leg to his advantage, gets back to the inside of Noko. He's not laying down, he's not giving up, he's going back for the race lead. He wants to win. Oh, and problems there for the 36. Munches around near the entrance of pit road. If he's got damage, he'll be able to get there safely. Contact made a little bit between the 7 and the 23. Kind of looked like Noko squeezed him down just a little bit. And we have a new leader, folks. Josh Colm-Diaz is out front. And keep your eye on the black and blue 23 and the white and red number 1 Chevy Camaro. They're running in 2nd and 3rd, and they're the ones going at it for the championship. Noko in the 23, 10 wins this season and a staggering 23 stage wins. Dakota Bruv got his first win of the season just earlier tonight at Martinsville to clinch his spot, and now here he goes, folks. He's now side by side with the 23. They're going at it for 2nd and for the championship here in the final stage. And Chris Pendle in the 42 is right there with them. 3 cars going at it. 3 of the 4 contenders right there. There's contact made. They were 3 wide for a moment. Dakota Bruv in the 1 is going to get the best of this situation. He goes to 2nd, Noko to 3rd, Chris Pendle running in 4th. Flash 9 in the 10 in 5th, Ayrton Frederick in the 93 running in 6th. They all had to scatter and get around the 36 machine. Munch still having a little bit of issues there. The car not handling to his liking. He got out of the way of the leaders. And there's still a great battle going on from 2nd on back, and it's allowed Josh in the 7 to take off with the race lead. Pardon me. This is good stuff. Dakota hugs the yellow line all the way through turns 1 and 2. Used to be 3 and 4 in call-in races at Phoenix. Has really been a challenge ever since the reconfiguration of this racetrack. Coming now to the start-finish line, of course. Dakota leads this pack. 2nd, 3rd, 4th on back. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th are your round of 4 contenders. Dakota in the 1, Noko in the 23, Chris Pendle in the 42. And now they've got company, but they're being mighty respectful about it. I think the Flash 9 and maybe Ayrton Frederick in the 93 could have made a move or 2 by now. Now Pendle in the 42 went way high through turns 3 and 4 that time by. That allowed Flash 9 and the 10 to get underneath him. This is going to be a dogfight all the way to the finish. .40 laps to go when the leaders hit the start-finish line this time by. 100-lap event here at Phoenix to decide who is the 2020 NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series champion, presented by Bruv Motorsports. Third annual season of this series, and defending champion Dakota Bruv in the 1, holding on for dear life to that second place position, because that is the spot to be the champion right now. Now Noko looks to the inside. The 23 takes over second. Contact there between the 42 and the 1, and Pendle hard into the inside wall. Dakota didn't know that he was there. Chris got a little bit loose after the contact, and he's dropped outside of the top 5, well behind your race leaders. You can see a little better. He's got a little bit of damage to the front end of the nose there of the Toyota Supra, and he's going to be a little bit under power now. Still a lot of laps left, but that really might have done it for Chris, and that's a shame. 7 wins this season. Now running outside the top 5, going to try to keep our eye on the battle for the championship. Noko in the 23 is in the spot to win the championship as of right now, currently holding the second position. Dakota Bruv in the 1, behind him in third. They are the 2 highest running championship contenders. You see them in the frame every now and then with each other. Dakota's really not that far behind. He's well within striking distance. He's got a good car. There's a lot of laps left, folks. 38 to go when they hit the line. This time by, they're all chasing this man, Josh Colm-Diaz. What a way to end the season it would be for him. Didn't have the start to the 2020 NASCAR Thunder Cup Series season that he wanted over on NASCAR 15. But he's definitely looking good to finish things strong for the 2020 NASCAR MotorMaster Series season here on NASCAR Heat 4. He's had a great season all season long. And this would mark 2 wins in his MotorMaster career if he can hold on for another 37 laps at Phoenix. A little bit of contact there. Dakota in the 1 found the wall coming into turn 2 just a little bit. Definitely not going to upset the car. But it will wear the tires out just a little bit here on NASCAR Heat 4. It'll take grip away. It might force Dakota to have to pit a little bit sooner. It really comes down to how hard they're driving right now. It is the final stage of the championship race. You got to believe they're leaving it all on the table here. But it's going to come down to when they pit and how long they can stretch their fuel and tires. For example, Josh Colm-Diaz in the 7th surrenders the race lead. He is on pit road. Did he use his stuff up a little too much? We think that these drivers are all going to need to make 1 to 2 pit stops here in the final stage. It's going to be close if someone were to make it on 1. Josh pitting this soon might have kind of guaranteed him to be committed to a 2-stop strategy, and only time will tell. Maybe not, though. It might be all scheduled stops, folks. Dakota Bruv in the 1 is on pit road. Ayrton Frederick in the 93. Chris Pendle in the 42. Cameron Norton in the 8. And Harold Burden in the 39. Noko stayed on the track for 1 extra lap, and he's now going to surrender the lead, come to pit road, along with Dunson in the 89 Morgan Shepherd machine. And it looks like Brett Baker in the 00 car as well. Here come Flash 9 in the 10, Josh Colm-Diaz in the 7, Harold Burden in the 39. They have already made their pit stop. They're back on the racetrack. It's going to be really interesting to see where this all cycles through. It's going to be 4 tires and fuel for all of these drivers. And you got to feel like any adjustments that they were going to make probably have already been made throughout the course of Stage 1 and Stage 2, but you never know. Long run adjustments might be applied here for the final stage at Phoenix. Dunson and Noko leaving their pit stalls at identical times there. They're back onto the racetrack. They're going to merge back onto the track in traffic, and here comes Dakota Bruv in the 1. The only thing different between these two is Noco's got 1 lap fresher tires. He was able to go 1 lap further. Who knows, maybe Dakota could have as well, but he chose to pit when he did, and it was 1 lap sooner than Noco in the 23. We'll see if that gives Noco a big advantage. Noco scrubs the wall a little bit coming out of turn 4 that last time by. Man, Dakota might smell blood in the water when he sees something like that. Dakota would be the first driver to ever go back-to-back and win a NOSSCAR championship 2 years in a row in the same series on a NASCAR Heat video game on the PlayStation 4 console. Some of our series here in NOSSCAR run annually. We crown 2018, 2019, 2020 champions. We go by the year. Some of our series we run multiple seasons in 1 calendar year. This one is a special one. 1 time a year these drivers come out for 30 some races and give it their all. And Dakota Bruv looking to become the first one in history to win a NOSSCAR championship in one of the annual series that we run. You go back to back. It's got to run down Noco in the 23. Noco's got the advantage on the stopwatch right now with those 1 lap pressure tires. Dakota doing everything he can to keep him within striking distance. Dakota's car has been strong all race long, and all it takes is a couple of good laps by Dakota, a couple bad laps maybe by Noco. He's right there again. The leader is Josh Colm-Diaz in the 7. Flash 9 in the 10 car runs solidly in the 2nd position. Noco runs 3rd. Dakota Bruv in the 1 car runs 4. He's there, folks. The 2 contenders with the best shot to win the championship as of right now, with 25 laps to go. Going at it for the 3rd position on the racetrack and going at it for the championship. Dakota was able to make up those couple of car lengths, and he's right there again on the back bumper of Noco in the 23. Making it really interesting. Give you an update on the rest of the top 5. Dunson rounds out the top 5 in the 89 car, having a great run to end the year. It's Josh Colm-Diaz in the 7 leading the way. Flash 9 in the 10 running in 3rd. Noco in the 23 Flash 9 in the 10 in 2nd rather. Noco in the 23 in 3rd. Dakota in the 1 in 4th. Dunson rounding out the top 5 in the 89. And we're watching the main battle on the racetrack, folks. There's a championship trophy on the line. Dakota Bruv would love to be the one to bring it home for the 2nd year in a row. And Noco would love to cap a great season off with 10 wins and 23 stage wins with a championship. 23 laps until we find out who is your champion, and we know that these drivers are going to need to make one more pit stop. Did a little bit of research here on what a fuel run is here at Phoenix for these Xfinity cars. They're all going to need to pit again, but they can make it to within about anywhere from 4 to 8 laps from the finish, depending on when they came down pit road. It's going to be interesting to see what strategies are deployed here in this final stage. About 22 laps to go now. Noco is in the spot to win the championship. Couple of cars out of the race. That includes Jason Pitts in the 99 and Munch in the 36. And that leaves us with 15 cars left on the racetrack here at Phoenix. Final race of the 2020 NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series season presented by Bruv Motorsports. Dakota cuts the corner a little too sharp there. Found the inside wall going into turn 3. And the best have done it, folks. That corner is a tricky one. Left front got a little bit pushed in from that, and now he's losing ground to Noko in the 23, and that's not what he wants to see. Checking in on Flash 9 in the 10, running in the second position, trying to gain some ground on the 7 car if he can. Or he was. He's now going to surrender that position and come to pit road for his final pit stop of the race. Dunson in the 89 is on pit road as well. Strategy being deployed by some of the drivers that are not involved in the championship picture here at Phoenix. We're going for the win, so why not gamble one last hoorah here in the 2020 MotorMaster Series season. Noko stays on track. Dakota Bruv in the 1 stays on track. They now run in 2nd and 3rd. And problems for one of your round of 4 contenders. Chris Pendle in the 42 has spun at the entrance to pit road, coming for his final pit stop of the race as well. It's definitely just not been his day, folks. All sorts of damage to the front end of that number 42 Toyota Supra. Not of his doing. He got caught up in a couple of incidents there with 29 of proximity and a few others. Championship race has not gone Chris's way, that's for sure. Won a race in the round of 8 at Texas to get to this championship race. And it's gone a little bit up in smoke for the 42 team, just trying to get everything he can at this point. Josh in the 7 surrenders the race lead. He's on pit road. That gives the lead over to Noko in the 23. And Dakota Bruv in the 1 is going to take over 2nd. They have not been to pit road for their final pit stop yet. Now Dakota is on pit road in the 1. Justin McClintock in the 90 on pit road. Noko still on the racetrack. Harold Burden in the 39 right behind him. Fresher tires. He's already been on pit road. Harold, of course, one of the round of 4 contenders as well. Had an issue getting the button to work, trying to make one of his pit stops at the end of stage 1. He had to come to pit road the very next lap under green instead, and he fell 2 laps because of it. And that's ultimately what's put an end to his hopes of winning this championship as well. We have under 20 laps to go here at Phoenix. Noko now is going to surrender the lead. He stays out a little bit longer than everybody else yet again here at Phoenix. Comes down to pit road speed, which I believe is 45 miles per hour here at Phoenix. It's going to be interesting to see where everybody cycles through. Dakota Bruv, short pit by a lap or 2, and he's really hoping that he's going to be in front of the 23 when this all cycles through. That might be his best and maybe only shot. If he's in front of the 23, he might be able to stay in front of him, take his line away, and make life for Noko a little bit difficult that way. Noko on pit road getting service. Dakota Bruv is rounding the track right now. It's going to be really close here. It appears that it's going to be a 4-tire stop for Noko. I could be wrong, but that seemed to be about a 14 to 15 second pit stop. And afterwards, I don't see Dakota Bruv Getting a report something might have happened to Dakota during the cycle of pit stops, and I'm not sure if it was a pit road speeding penalty or what it was, but he is running in the 8th position as of right now, and he's not really within striking distance to run down Noko in the 23 as of right now. So after what was the final cycle of pit stops here of the season, it's Noko in the 23 in the position to win the championship. If everything were to end the way it is right now, there are cars still on the racetrack that have not made their final pit stop of the race yet, and that's why some of our championship contenders are further down the running order as of right now. Harold Burden, one of the round of 4 contenders, is your race leader. Could he come back and win the championship after being 2 laps down from not making his pit stop at the right time at the end of stage 1? He's got the lead right now, and time will tell, folks. There's only 8 laps to go for Harold in the 39. In fact, when he hits the start-finish line, we're only going to have 7. 7 laps to go in the 2020 season. 7 laps until we crown a 2020 NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series champion. And it could be Harold Burden in the 39 if he can somehow, some way, make it the distance on the fuel and the tires that he has. Could you imagine? He's really lifting, but he's got a bit of distance to deal with. Noko in the 23 is the next car behind Harold in the 39. Does he have enough cushion? Does he have enough space to save this much and make it to the end? Noko's there, he's coming, he's on the same straightaway as him now, and that's the battle for the championship. Josh Colm-Diaz in the 7 has since then taken the lead back, but this is the battle for the championship. I don't think Harold can go full steam right now. He's trying to conserve and make it to the end. And Noko is going to take the position and ultimately take the championship. Harold comes to pit road. He could not make the distance on fuel. It was a valiant effort. It was a great effort. But Harold's going to fall short of the 2020 NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series championship. And only by a few laps, folks. There is your race leader, Josh Colm-Diaz, getting challenged by Flash 9. Flash goes to the inside, looking for the lead here at Phoenix. They are not contending for the championship, but they're contending for the trophy. They're contending for that win. In the final laps, it's looking good for Noko. It's looking good for Timac Motorsports. Timac Bruv Motorsports brought a great team, an all-star team here for the 2020 season, and Noko looking to capture the championship after what has been a remarkable and a record-breaking season for he and the number 23 team. His next closest round of 4 contender, Chris Pendle in the 42, runs in the 8th position. Actually, his next closest one would actually be Dakota Bruv in the 1 who runs in 7th, not too far in front of Chris. Round of 4 contenders. Pretty scattered throughout the field, and we're in the final few laps, folks. Oh, and something happened to Flash 9 in the 10. Out of control over there, going towards turn 1. I didn't see what sparked that, but he lost a whole bunch of track position there trying to run down your race leader. The checkered flag is in the air, and Josh Cole-Diaz wins the Victory Lane 200 here at Phoenix. Second career NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series win, and your 2020 NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series champion presented by Bruv Motorsports, Noko in the 23. 10 wins this season, 23 stage wins. Put on a racing clinic. Noko is your 2020 NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series champion. What a race by all of these guys. Josh Cole-Diaz in the 7 picks up the win. Flash 9 in second. Noko in third. Quarter Panel in fourth. Dunsun rounding out the top 5. Ayrton Frederick in 6th. Dakota Brubb 7th. Chris Pendle in 8th. Cameron Norton in 9th. Brett Baker rounding out the top 10. What a way to end the season. We knew it would be exciting. We knew it was going to be a dogfight. We knew these drivers were going to lay it all on the line and give it everything they had. What a race it was. Congratulations to Noko and the number 23 team. We're going to get an interview with him here in just a matter of moments. Congratulations to all of these drivers, really. 65 plus drivers attended and participated in the 2020 NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series season presented by Bruv Motorsports. And we're going to get a word with the number 1 driver, your champion, here in just a matter of moments. Being joined now by the driver, the number 23, and I can't believe it, man. You did it. You came in as the favorite, so I guess I can't say I can't believe it. 10 wins, 23 stage wins, a dominant season for you, rookie season, a breakout season, and a good way to start your NOSSCAR career. You open with a championship. You are the 2020 NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series champion, presented by Bruv Motorsports. How do you feel?
I don't even know what to say, man. Trouble had me sweating on that last little bit, 10 laps to go. He had me sweating there. I thought he was going to be able to make it, but when I seen the ticker start to close in, I knew that he was probably in critical fuel saving mode. So, man, I don't know. That was a race. I had to really choose in stage 3 whether I wanted to try to battle for the win or if I wanted to just let those guys go and kind of split the stages up to where I'm going to race the guys that I need to race and not the guys that I'm racing for the win. So kind of let those guys go, and it all fell into place, and just really great season. Just really proud of the effort, and all these guys in NASCAR. Just congratulations to all the other finishers for the Final Four. It was a heck of a battle, both stages.
You had some heavy hits. Yeah, sorry to cut you off. I thought you were finished. That's my fault. You had some heavy hitters in the Final Four with you. Chris Pendle, of course, 7 wins this season. Dakota Brubb coming off a big win there at Martinsville to clinch his way in, or excuse me, a second place finish rather. And then you also had Harold Burden with his strategy. Take us through some of the some of those laps in the final stage, battling with Pendle and with Dakota Bruv there for the championship?
You know, like I was saying, in the first two stages, I probably shouldn't have pushed it as hard as I did, just to be a little safer, but I really wanted to hold that lead because I knew track position is going to be really important, especially coming to the final stage. And when we got to that final stage, I started letting a couple of those guys go, and kind of ran my own race and watched the ticker to see where everybody else was at. I mean, it's unfortunate for Harold. I know he didn't pit ending stage 2, which really sucks, man. And I saw him peel off, or stage 1, I think it was, into stage 1, he peeled off and had to pit, so he was already behind the 8 ball. So I knew right then and there I wasn't going to be too concerned with Harold's strategy at that point because he was so far back in track position. Really, it was down to a 2-car race between Pendle and D-Nub and me. And man, what a race! Just everything going through my mind, and just all the battling. And Flash 9, he's real stout out there, and I really wanted to win the race, but like I said, it was big picture for us tonight in the Timac Motorsports 23 Allegiant Chevrolets special paint scheme for championship weekend. But just really proud of the effort, man. It's just been really fun with all these guys, and I'm glad I was able to put the right setup in to start this race out. That would have really sucked, but overall, just a lot of fun.
It's a long season in terms of the number of races on the schedule, and you broke a lot of records this season. You were able to stand out. What was it, do you think, that went so right for you and put yourself in the position that you were in heading into Phoenix here?
You know, I believe in putting yourself in the right places at the right times is going to give you success. And we were able to dodge quite a few incidents throughout the season, which, you know, most of those, if not all of them, led to victory lane. And we actually had a dodge one. I don't know if you saw it in I think it was stage 2. There was a car wrecking right in front of me, and I missed it, and it collected Pendle and Flash 9, and I know they had a ton of damage, so they had to start back in the back. But just stuff like that, just lucky breaks. And you know, you just got to make sure you can manage the traffic well. I mean, that's for anybody that's running this series. These are big fields. If you can manage the traffic well and pick and choose your spots, then you're gonna definitely come out with a top 5 finish for sure.
Once again, congratulations. You are the 2020 NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series champion, presented by Bruv Motorsports, the third different champion, third annual champion.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Timac. I'm glad I can get the championship for your team. And man, I'm speechless, guys. Great race to Trouble and D-Nub. You know, good race for you guys. We were battling each other quite a bit, and it was a lot of fun out there. Definitely was. Thank you. I definitely appreciate this.
Being joined now by Dakota Bruv, the driver of the #1 Chevy Camaro, finished in 7th here in Phoenix. I haven't studied the official race results yet. You had a great car all race long. Battled with Noko really well there in the final stage, and it looked like you might have even had something for him. You came off a big second place finish earlier tonight at Martinsville to catapult your way into the Final Four. What do you think you maybe could have done differently to capture this championship and go back to back?
Man, honestly, I had a car to run right next to Noko. I ran next to him all race. I knew at the end it'd probably come down to me and him, but as the race led on, Pendle kind of put on a fight there at the end of the second stage, and the beginning of the third stage, he was a really hard running car. It was a good battle. I got rear-ended later in the run by a car that pitted ahead of me, and he got into my rear bumper and caused some damage, and it threw the aero off and loosened the car up a little more than what I expected, and it didn't go well. It used my tires up a little more than what I thought it would, and I had to lift a little bit more. But come second, I really can't complain. It's been an up and down season, and I'm just glad to come out where I came out, I guess. I put it all into it, and it was a good run. Noko deserved it.
You're the 2019 NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series champion. Things really fell into place for you last season. What went a little differently for you this season?
Man, I feel like the tracks that I did the most horriblest last season, I did better at this season, and the ones that I did great at last season, I did horrible at this season. So, I don't know. It's a different routine, different feel for this season. It was a up and down one for sure, and like I said, Noko came out strong all year long, and we all knew he was going to be the one to battle, and Trouble had a good run there. He had his strategy down. I knew he wasn't pitting that second stage. I knew that was part of his strategy. He had been running a fuel run since stage 1, completely different, and he kind of worried me, but as the run went on, I kind of noticed he got in a little bit of trouble and got shuffled back a little bit, so I started worrying more on Noko, and like I said, the damage just kind of let Noko run away with it. I had to lift a little bit more in the corners. I just couldn't maintain my speed.
You finished the season strong. You seemed to bring a fast car everywhere you went, but just sometimes you didn't get the finishes you deserved, and it was just a lot of bad luck, too. It was not often your fault. You would get caught up in something, and suddenly you just weren't in contention for the win that day anymore. But at the end of the season, you persevered enough to put yourself in the Final Four. You went out there and gave it your all, and you gave me a lot to talk about during the broadcast. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we have an interview here with Harold in the 39?
Man, I wanna say everybody that raced, it was a good season. There was not too much that really could have been different. I mean, Noko came in, like I said, strong. A lot of these guys that fought into this top 4, I mean, we fought tooth and nail every week. It was a tight battle all the way up through. I remember starting damn near at the elimination spot at the start of this playoff thing, and to even make it into the Final Four, I really surprised myself, and I feel like it played out the way it should have been. He's had an incredible season, so I mean, congrats to all. Everybody did well, and I want to thank you again.
Fantastic season, Dakota. I'm glad that you had a great season. Thank you for coming out.
Hey, thank you, Ty.
Handing things over now to Harold Burden, driver of the number 39 Chevy Camaro. Always makes things interesting, especially with some long run strategies. And Harold, you had us all holding your breath, or holding our breath rather, in the final stage. You might have been holding yours as well. We thought you were going to make it the distance and surprise us all and win the championship, and it nearly paid off for you. How strong was the car? We know that you were kind of mid-pack and kind of stuck in traffic all race long. What kind of challenges were you facing out there in the championship race?
My car was actually pretty quick. It was just like I was conserving, like in the first part, just to stay on the lead lap, just to run it out, see where my tire wear was. I knew where my tire wear was and my fuel mileage, and I had it set to the end of the race, no problem. Then when we went to pit at the beginning of the second stage, I hit the pit, but it wouldn't let me pit. And so I come out, and I had no pit. So immediately I pulled over, let everybody run, get by me, and then went to the pit. And when I come out, I was in front of the leaders, so I just kept pushing to stay in front of them. And I stretched it out to a straightaway, stay in front of them, stay on the lead lap, got back up in there. And the last run, I was just conserving, trying to do my strategy, but there were just too many people that were just running too fast, and they come up on you, slide up you, pinch you up against the wall, kills my momentum, cause damage. I just kept telling people, slow down, just slow down when you're trying to pass the slower cars. I had the tire wear, I had it, but after a couple people, Noko chopped my nose once, and NASCAR got me once and put me in a wall. That slowed me down and killed my tire wear. Immediately I lost 3% each time. So I knew that I was going to have to pit then within the 2 laps of the finish of the race, so I figured I may as well duck it down at 5 to go. It didn't make no difference. Or else I'd have had that. I could have had a good stretch.
I mentioned Anoco. It's a long season when it comes to the number of races, and it's tough to be consistent and always having a shot for the win and making it to the round of 4 and going after the championship. 65 plus drivers entered this season, for example. What were you able to do all season long that kept you so consistent and near the front and put yourself in a position to battle for this championship tonight?
Just my old school racing, and learn how to be a little bit slow going in and fast coming off. Keep your line, keep your patience, and just hope you avoid all the bad stuff. Usually it works, and if you stretch your fuel mileages and you slow down a little bit, a lot of times it pays off with that strategy that puts you up in the end.
You finally
I know
found...
that if I ain't got a top 5 car, it's strategy time.
Yeah, I don't blame you. In the round of 8, you finally found victory lane here in your NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series season. Is it safe to say that that gave you a huge boost of confidence and momentum, knowing that you were going to battle for this championship? Did it help you tonight, knowing that that monkey was off your back, that weight was off your shoulders?
Yeah, it was great knowing that that monkey's off my shoulders. I know that if you just take your time and your patience, it can pay off.
Good stuff. Well, just would like to say once again, good job this season. You came very close, had a great season all season long, brought good cars out to the track, it seemed like every week. And congratulations on a good Final Four run there.
And thanks. Congrats, Moko.
Hey, man, thank you very much. You had me sweating. I'm not going to lie. 10 to go. I was sweating. I was like, oh, man, I got to run him down now? 15 seconds? Oh, my gosh.
Yeah,
it was shades of Kansas all over again, man. I'm not even kidding. I was sweating bullets.
Right. Yeah. No, a lot of times I had that. It's just like I keep getting people to run. If they would just stay down in their lane, I could probably go an extra couple laps longer with my fuel, my tires. But oh well,
right.
It is what it is.
That's the thing too. When you make contact with the car or the wall, it does take 1 to 3% tire wear away. It really does.
Right. That's what I say. You just take a little slower. When I come up on a slower car, I take it easy. I wait to get them by them and the straightaway. I don't try to push the issue in the corner because I know sometimes their wear can cause them to be awkward and then they're going to get into you.
Absolutely. But, I mean, heck of a job, man. You had me sweating, for sure.
Hey,
I was worried. Those last 10 laps, I was scared.
If I get a better wheel, man, this little contraption that I made on this thing, it really helps it out a lot lately.
Nice. Yeah, I've noticed the performance has definitely been there.
Yeah, that T80, there's too much free with the wheel, you know what I mean? Where it slides around and that, you can't really control it. But I hooked some bungees to it, and man.
Yeah, when you don't have that force feedback, it is a lot different.
Yeah, it's hard to control. I was wheeling my ass off on this thing, man.
So, I know the feeling, man. I got tacos right now.
Tacos. Yeah, I got food down there too.
No, my pits are sweating.
Oh.
The bad kind of tacos.
Oh, that's terrible.
Thanks very much, guys. That's going to do it for the post-race interviews here from Phoenix International Raceway, ISM Raceway, whatever you'd like to call it. The name has been changed a couple of times. It was hosted here on NASCAR Heat 4, the third annual year for the NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series, presented by Bruv Motorsports. It's a very successful season. A lot of drivers came out to have some fun. And when it was all said and done, your 2020 NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series champion is Noko, the driver of the number 23 Chevy Camaro. From all of us here at NOSSCAR, we'd like to thank you for joining us for our broadcasts throughout the season. We hope you enjoyed them. If you missed any, definitely go and search the YouTube channel and check them out. And we'll be back in the 2021 calendar year for MotorMaster action in the Xfinity cars. From all of us here at NOSSCAR saying so long, signing out now, and stay fast, folks.